All right. All right, here we go. We'll start again. First of all, I want to thank everybody here today for your yearly coverage, everything you do for Pitt football. This show doesn't go without you guys. So, your daily coverage, for the last year has been really important to this 2025 football team. So, we'll start there. Again, this is a 2026 celebration of this class. All the hard work they put in to get here, all the hard work our staff put in to get them here, and just the first 7 a.m. call this morning, just the excitement out of our kids' voices. You're changing people's lives as coaches, with these scholarships and commitments and signing day, but just the excitement out of their voices, out there is just. I mean, that's what you do. And again, the relationships that we built, I talk about all the time, just the 4 program goals, is first one is relationships. And I think, our coaching staff that you're going to get a chance to come up here one by one is going to talk about just the relationships you build. And again, those relationships last forever, but they last through the next 5 years. And I think that's what continues to build our football team. And you build it with young guys and, just like the relationships we build in here. So I think that's, obviously that's critical. But, the relationship number one, again, the kids come here to graduate. Our staff, myself, everybody in this building is obviously, grateful for everything that our guys do as far as academics. And again, our number 2 goal is to graduate. We want to graduate our players, and we still are firm believers that's why we're here. We're not just here to play football, although some people would think that's what it's all about. But when kids come on visits, it's about making sure we graduate. So relationships, graduating, and again, we want to win. And, I know this press conference is about the signing day, but we're playing the last game of the season to play the championship game. Again, that's why I came to Pitt. That's why we're here. That's what our kids want to hear. We want to play for championships. So, that's the third one. And then giving back, which, last week our guys, we're back, I should say last week, it was Monday. It seems like a week ago. Monday, our guys are at Children's Hospital, talking about all the turnovers we got, takeaways, and, LB Foster and all that was a great story and a great visit there. So those are 4 things that we continue to harp on. And with that, let's just talk a little bit about this class. Obviously, 21 signees in the class. Again, I'm going to start off with these, the 21 signees, and I'm going to kind of follow up with the thankful talk about, who we're thankful for getting this done. We got a 66% hit ratio on our class. I mean, we brought in, I think, 31 visitors, and we hit 66%. That's got to be one of the highs in the country. We're not bringing in 50 to get, that's big time. And again, we've done that since we've been here. I think last year we hit at 61%. So we hit above where we were a year ago. Just, again, our quality time, and again, focusing on those 4 program goals and the people we have in the room. It's quality. It's not quantity. It's not bringing in 100 kids to get 21. That's a lot of wasted time. So we're bringing in the right guys that fit what we want to do. The last 3 signing classes, we've signed 21 kids in each one of the classes. I think prior to that it was 19. So, we're averaging, over 22 players each recruiting class. That tells you how important high school recruiting is. I've talked to some coaches that are signing 2 or 3 kids, whether it be FBS. I mean, that's not good. We want to still build our football team with high school football players. I want to make sure that's clear, and I couldn't be happier about the players and prospects we got in this class, but that's a lot. And again, when you look at, just our roster currently right now, 75% of our roster, our 25 team, is from the high school ranks, okay, and 25% portal. So I think that's 3/4 of our football team is high school. And you look at the young guys we have on our team, the young standouts, whether it's Mason, Boosie, Trey Butkowski, Sean Lee. I'm probably missing somebody. That means there's too many freshmen to talk about. That's a good thing. And again, we want to continue. There's going to be some of those stars. Who are they going to be? I don't know. We'll see when we get here. But we're excited about that. Average class GPA, 3.25. And again, when you look at just the evaluation, how do we get these guys? How are we doing it? Unfortunately, only 4 of them came from camp. Okay, so we're not getting as many people camping anymore. They'll visit campus, but they're not actually going to camp. But we did get 4 from camp. We got 10 from live spring evaluations. We got 10 from visits to their high school games. So 10 games we got to on a Friday night or Thursday night, whatever it was, or a Saturday morning game, whatever it may be. And then 7, that we got spring evaluations. So, all those things culminate into why I'm thankful. So when you talk about GPAs and you talk about high school recruiting, so first thing is we bring kids on campus. The city of Pittsburgh. I want to thank the city of Pittsburgh. I mean, the city puts on for our recruits. It's incredible. The food, the atmosphere, downtown. I mean, it's incredible. All of our player hosts do an incredible job. Again, couldn't do it without these guys. Our players will, grab a night or 2 nights, actually 2 nights, 48 hours on campus and spend it with our guys. Our coaching staff and family, the time they spend. Our wives come on recruiting weekends. They have dinner with the parents so they get to know who our wives are. Our coaches put countless hours on the phone. I mean, and you can imagine all the wasted phone calls. Think about all the important phone calls. So it goes both ways. It's not just talking to our, guys that we landed. It's those other 20 kids that we didn't land, maybe that visited during the year. I want to thank our entire support staff. I mean, again, everybody in this building. It doesn't happen without them. And Graham Wilbert, Adam Caltori, and again, all the GAs. I mean, it takes an army to get this thing done. Academics. I mean, they're going through transcripts, evaluating transcripts, making sure that they're good enough to get in here and they can make it when they get to Pitt. I think that's critical. I want to thank all the high schools out there that we've trudged through their main office, given our IDs at the front desk, which we didn't have to do back in the old days. So it's great they got security there. But thank all those high school coaches that put time aside for us when we walk in that school. And then all of our faculty, the porch on Saturday morning, they close the porch down Saturday morning. We have all our academic people from campus come to breakfast there. Unbelievable, breakfast. If you guys never had breakfast there, the sausage biscuits is like, wow. A piece of sausage are about that big. If you haven't had that, you got to get there. Going back to that 21 guys in the class, 11 of them are on offense. We got 3 offensive linemen. We've got 4 wide receivers, 1 tight end, 1 running back, and 2 quarterbacks. So good spread there. We'll get it starts up front. The 10 signees on defense, we got 3 D linemen, 3 linebackers, 3 safeties, and 1 cornerback. And again, a couple of those safeties we think can do a little bit of both there. 16 guys are mid-year, okay? That is by far the highest number we've had. I want to say last year was 9 or 10. I mean, 16 of them, okay? And 10 of those are all of our 10 defensive signees. So every one of our defensive signees will be here at mid-year. And then there'll be 6 offensive guys at mid-year as well. So I'll start off, D lineman Lincoln Hoke, Reston Lehman, Josh Pittman, Marcus Jennings, Desmond Johnson, Isaiah Simmons, safety Isaiah Patterson, Deron Barksdale, Tony Forney, and Kentrell McCray. Those are some of the mid-year guys on defense, all of them, I guess. And then you talk about the offensive mid-year guys. John Kern will be here, right up the street. Dylan Wester, Demetrius McCray, Wyatt Villaria, quarterback Angelo Renda, and quarterback Corey Daly. So those are the guys that are coming mid-year. Got 5 more coming in the summer. Damon Ferguson Jr., running back, wide receiver Rodney Dunbar Jr., wide receiver Brian Hamilton, offensive lineman Michael Vander Ord, and offensive lineman Nick Howard. So we're excited about those guys coming in. Just to give you a state-by-state breakdown. Again, we got 4 of our signees are from the state of Pennsylvania. Obviously Reston Lincoln, Deron, and John Kern from this area. And I don't think anybody takes more players and develops more players from the WPIAL and from Pennsylvania than the University of Pittsburgh. And when I say I don't think, I know. There's nobody that takes more than Pittsburgh. And there's nobody that develops them more than Pittsburgh, and there's nobody that has developed more NFL guys from the WPIAL and from the state of Pennsylvania than Pittsburgh. So we've taken more local kids than anybody since I've been here, and I think that's important. I mean, you think about DeMar Hamlin, Jordan Whitehead, Dane Jackson, Cruz Brookins, Braylon Lovelace, Sean Fitzsimmons, Paris Ford, a great one. So again, other guys that were from Pittsburgh that left, Donovan McMillan and MJ Devonshire. So I mean, the list goes on of those guys from this area that we got. Other states, Florida, we got 5 of them from there. We got 4 from Texas. Really those 3 areas really big for us. We got 2 from Ohio. We got 2 from Georgia, 2 from Virginia. We got one from the state of Michigan, great state of Michigan, and again, got one from the state of Maryland. So we're excited about that. Just other quick notes, and I'm going to turn it over to maybe give you a couple questions if Mike allows me to. But the first signing today, there's two of them. Okay, two first signees. The first one to get his paperwork in was Marcus Jennings from Michigan, so he wins that award. We'll give him something nice. But my first phone call, my first FaceTime was from Lincoln Hoke. So it's a combination. Marcus called me right as I was on with Lincoln. So those are the two guys that won it. And then Wyatt was at 9:05, got his stuff in. But the reason he had that is they're still practicing, getting ready for a state championship down there. If you haven't watched tape on him, he's a baller. Wyatt, they practiced early this morning, Texas. Matter of fact, he was in school at 5 a.m. this morning trying to get that done. So with that, I'll open it up, not like a normal Monday noon press conference, for just a couple questions so we can turn it over to our staff. Questions? It's kind of like, for the most part, you want to develop your own people, right? I want to take these guys that come from high school. We want to take these guys that come from high school and develop them, build their habits, right? I think habits are built, and again, we're going to practice more. We're going to train more in the weight room, but just developing those young kids from high school to where we want to. Sometimes you take, and again, sometimes we do a much better job, I think, than anybody in the country of taking that 25% of transfers and hoping they don't have too bad, it's hard to, break people of the old habits they used to do, right? You see a guy on tape and you're going, he's got 2 years to go, he's got 1 year to go. Oh, I can fix that. Good luck to you. It's hard to fix that. So to be able to develop our young through the high school development, as opposed to grabbing a guy that's got a year or two and hoping that you're a good enough coach that you can change a guy in 6 months. That's hard to do. Anything else? That's good. You guys are ready for the rest of the group. So I think Corey Sanders is up first. Coach Sanders.